Okay. Okay, we are live right now. Okay. Okay, just 1 second here, everyone. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are all having a great weekend. How is everyone? The thumbnail is Red Dead Online, is it? Oh man, I saved a new thumbnail and it still came up. I'm sorry. Let me fix this. I don't know why I saved the last thumbnail. Okay, 1 second. Thank you for telling me, dude. Okay, it's fixed now. I'm sorry, refresh it and you'll see the right thumbnail.
You going to have a good week, boss?
Yeah, I fixed it. The DLC is dropping on Tuesday. Nice drip, thank you, man. Okay, let's help Pierston out then. I just saw your bully video. Oh, thank you. Did you like it? There's a new DLC for this game? Yeah, it's coming out on Tuesday. A lot of it, the DLC has largely been ignored because of the hype around GTA 6, but yes, there's a new GTA Online DLC coming out Tuesday. It might be the final DLC. We're gonna see what happens on Tuesday. If Rockstar... But here's the thing. If Rockstar does not say it's the last DLC on Tuesday, it's not the last DLC. So just keep that in mind. When that DLC drops, there might be a message saying that this is the final DLC for GTA Online. But if you don't see a message like that, then it's not the final DLC. How long does it take to fill up a 50 crate hangar solo? About 5 hours probably. Yeah, probably about there. Yeah, I'm hoping we have somebody even scarier than Dimitri. And I really hope they don't mess up, I really hope they don't mess up, Yusuf Amir in the new DLC. How the hell is it going to be the last DLC, when GTA 6 drops in 2025? I'll explain to you. I think that it's going to be the last DLC, most likely. Because, think about it this way. Let's say that GTA 6 comes out summer 2025. Let's just say, theoretically, right? If it comes out summer 2025, and Rockstar releases a GTA Online update 1 month before GTA 6, there's still gonna be plenty of people who are gonna want to play the GTA Online DLC before they play GTA 6. So my theory on this is they're probably gonna want a big pause between the final GTA DLC, GTA Online DLC, and GTA 6. Because think about it, if there's like a 1-year pause between like a new update on GTA Online and GTA 6, players are going to get bored, they're not going to have much to do, and then when GTA 6 comes out, they're going to be way more excited and they're going to want to buy it and be hyped for something. So that's what I think. I think it's probably a mistake to release a GTA Online update so close to GTA 6's release. So that's what I think. I think that this DLC, and if it's not this DLC, I'm convinced it's a summer DLC. There should be 2 more years of GTA Online. Possibly, I don't know, Alvinor. Look at the updates. The updates have been getting smaller and smaller. I do appreciate the super chat, but I just don't think that it's gonna be, yeah. Wonder why no trailer with the update. There's gonna be a trailer, but the update, the trailer will launch with the update. Ah, damn. That's why they said 2025, so people don't get pissed at them if there's a delay. Because 2025 basically gives them plenty of room. Bully is definitely an interesting Rockstar game. You're like almost halfway through the story in Bully. It's relatively long. Use items against adults. Yeah, I've noticed that. They can grab you pretty quickly, and it ends very fast. Thank you, London, for the super chat. Did you know you can get a health boost in Bully by getting perks of exchanging gifts to girlfriends for kisses with art classes and health boost day? Oh, no, I didn't know about that, Patrick. Thank you for telling me. How do you even find the girlfriends? Because I know there's like a few girlfriends. There's Lola, there's Mindy, there's, the diary girl, I forget her name. But how do you even find them? Who will call us at the start to buy the property? Possibly Yusuf, Amir? Red Dead Online snow doesn't start until, like, I mean, GT Online snow doesn't start until the week of Christmas. I think they gave us snow on Red Dead Online, primarily so the players aren't bored. And the snow on Red Dead Online is actually really fun, but the snow on GT Online can get a bit annoying at times. Like, try flying a plane in the snow on GT Online, it's almost impossible. When will my Pegorino video come out? Pegorino video will come out sometime this month. It is coming out this month. Just be patient with me, but it'll be out this month. I'm gonna do a lot of it, once I cover the next GT Online DLC, because the DLC is coming out on Tuesday. Once I cover that and I get the bulk of the DLC videos done, I can finish up the Pegorino video. I'll play Manhunt, yes. Whoa, whoa. Huh, I completely forgot these things are here. Imagine if they gave you a cell mission with these things. Thank you, Z60Z. Thank you for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. Can't believe I'm gonna be 25 in 2025, huh? Yep. So it's an easy way to tell your age, just all the years. But, I'm gonna be, over 30 that time. What's a new part of Pacific Assault coming? I'll try tomorrow. Pacific Assault, I'm gonna have like 1 hour videos each time. The reason for that is because the different fronts in Pacific Assault are like really long. So like the Guadalcanal mission is like over an hour long, so... If your adult authority level is max at Bully, any adult authority figures will take no BS and drop you immediately. Run fast. Yeah. Whenever I see the adults, I do tend to run fast immediately. Try to get away from them as fast as I can. No, it's okay, Mr. Wick. Don't worry about it, man. It's not a big deal. Oh, look, and I still have that review on Modern Warfare coming out. I still gotta do that. But I actually have most of the review done for Modern Warfare. I just have to do a few more edits. But basically, I don't think people are necessarily pissed off that that one character died in the campaign. I think people are just more pissed off of how it happened. Because that one character died, the main bad guy got away, there was no resolving that. It's just a crappy, terrible ending. Yes, they are, Pierston. You should have spelled sight and sights on English too. Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, did I do bad on my first attempt? Because the English, I think the English class is probably the hardest one besides the shop class. Because it's like, you only have 3 minutes and you have to figure out a bunch of these words from it. It's, it requires a lot of thinking. Saddest death in Modern Warfare 2007? Saddest death in Modern Warfare 2007. I would say probably Griggs at the end. Yeah, when Griggs gets hit, that's probably the worst. Griggs picks you up and tries to save you, and then he gets hit. The thumbnail is updated. Just refresh the page, Doug. Oh yeah, I heard about that. But if I do a collab video with Ned Luke, I'm definitely open to that. But it's going to probably be later in December. Because I'm just going to be so busy with so many projects right now. But I'll definitely be open to that. No, don't worry about that stuff, Mr. Waifu. It just people are just being stupid. Don't listen to them. Have I seen a Larry Lawton video before? Yes, I have. That's the guy who was the former jewelry store thief, right? I've seen that, or jewelry store robber, I should say. But I've seen his videos. Yes. Attempt at first was questionable. Second, all right. Yeah, I got kind of far on the second one. I did get half of them right. Thank you, Lendon. And thank you, the real CS02. Hey, pros, wondering when you're done, could you help me out with the casino heist? Thank you, real CS. I promised Feel the Heat that I would help him later, but if he's off, I can help you right away. Or I can help you second, but I promised Feel the Heat I would help him first later with the heist. Are you in my session right now? I struggled with English, but I was good at math. It's actually the opposite for me, Alvinor. And thank you, Real CS and Lendon, Alvinor. I was actually really good at English, but I was terrible at math. So I feel kind of stupid that I wasn't able to get all the words on that part. But we never had something like that in English, where we had to, like, figure out, like, what the words are, and, like, just, like, from a bunch of letters. English for us was reading books and doing essays. That's pretty much what English class was. Okay, Mr. Wick, that's fine. I'll reply to you later then. Don't worry, Pro, you're doing good. Thank you, man. I'll tell you guys a story, yeah, I'm just joined. Oh, thank you, Real CSO2. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks, man. So, I'll tell you guys a story about English class. English class gives me, like, kind of like horror, moments. I remember it from my time when I was in school. Do you prefer a game more realistic or arcade-like? As long as the realism is done to a fun aspect. I prefer games to be more realistic, as long as it's fun. Thank you, General's Alert. But what I'll tell you about English, I've always been good at English, always been good at writing essays, always did decent at that. And what happened was, in 11th grade, because when I attended high school in New York. In New York, in 11th grade, we had this really, big exam called the Regents, which it was like, I'm trying to remember, like 2 essays, like 50 multiple choice questions, like 20 short answers, something like that. It was like, like a 3-4 hour test. It was long. And what happened was, there was people that were, the teachers were really pushing us to do well on that. And I'm not really criticizing the teachers, but what happened is, there was these courses that my high school was offering after school. So basically, you would pay money for this course, you would come in after school, and they would prepare you for the Regents exam. And what ended up happening is, in my class, my English class, it was like 90% of the kids paid for that course, that after-school course, to like teach them how to basically write better essays. And what happened is, I didn't pay for the course. I just didn't feel that I needed to. I wasn't trying to show off, I wasn't saying that I was better than anybody, I just didn't think I needed it. Because I was good at writing essays already, I didn't think there was anything wrong with my essays, I always got good grades in English. And what ends up happening is, because I didn't pay for the course, the other kids started getting pissed at me. Like, it was just like, I don't know why they were just all up in arms about it, but they were getting a bit pissed at me. Because my teacher asked me why I didn't pay for the course, and I just said in the class I didn't think I needed it. And for some reason, a bunch of the kids just got pissed at me for that. And what ends up happening is, I remember I was at lunch that one afternoon, And it was at the time when Black Ops 1 was, like, a big game. So Black Ops 1 was a big game, and, like, I told a few of the kids in my, you know, class I was sitting at lunch with, I asked them if they wanted to play Black Ops tonight, and these kids weren't really my friends, they were just more people I just had added on, you know, PlayStation at the time, and I never forget this. But one of the kids basically said to me, like, he just said something so nasty. He's like, no, Patrick, we want to do something with our lives. We don't want to just sit there and play video games all day. He's like, you know, we're going to this after-school class, and, you know, we're going to get ready for the exam. And I was like, okay, good for you, dude. Like, that was just my response. Like, it was like, I wasn't trying to, I don't know what the issue was exactly. I don't know why this kid got all pissed at me, but some of the other kids were getting pissed at me that I didn't take, like, the class. And then what ends up happening is I take the exam, and when we get the results for the exam, I had a 95. That was the score that I had gotten on it. And some of those kids had taken the class, they had gotten in the low 80s. And they were getting all pissed. They were like, you know, how did you get a 95? You didn't take the class and all this other stuff, and they were just getting all pissed at me. It's like, I'm like, it's not my problem. It's not mine. It's like, you got the grade that you got because it's the essays that you wrote, specifically. I was always good at English, and I didn't think I needed the class, and so the kids that were, like, you know, getting all pissed at me for just asking them if they wanted to play Black Ops tonight, they got lower grades than me, even though I went home and I played Black Ops that night, and they just went to that, you know, paying money for that class where they probably got ripped off. And so that was it. I never said that I'm smarter than everybody. I was never trying to show off or anything like that, but they apparently took it as that because I didn't take the class like they did, and they for some reason thought that I was trying to say that I was smarter than them when I wasn't. But that was just, yeah, that was just that. I don't know what those kids are doing today, but, that was, yeah. That was something that I never forget in that class. The teacher was also pretty surprised that I had gotten that score, too. Let's see here. Patrick, love the videos, brother. Hope you could play Perfect Dark someday. Keep the quality of life content coming, brother. Thank you, AJ from Melt. Perfect Dark, isn't that game where you're trying to survive in, like, the wilderness? Isn't that the one? It's, like, cold and you're trying to survive in the wilderness. I'm trying to remember if that's the one. I'm definitely open to playing a game like that. Thank you, Own Titan. When GTA 6 comes out, I'm going to spend the entire day driving around the map. If I'm able to access the entire map, of course. It looks so good. I think parts of the map will probably be locked when it comes out. That's at least my theory on it. That's the Long Dark? What's the Perfect Dark, then? When will the rant video for Modern Warfare 3 campaign come out? Also, look forward to GTA 4 Pegarino lore video. Love your content. Thanks, Nine. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. The Modern Warfare 3 rant will come out probably sometime later this week. I'm just gonna record a few things, but the script is pretty much done for it. What are your thoughts on reaction content? Here's the thing about this. When it comes to, like, reaction content, there was, I'm kind of more in agreement with Dark Viper AU on this, that I think that reaction content, for the most part, is laziness. I don't think that it really requires much effort. The only time I could see reaction content being justified is if you are breaking something down. So, like, you react to something and you break it down. Like, you know those videos where somebody reacts to something and then they give their opinion on it? Like, they just break it down frame by frame, so they'll watch the video and then they'll, like, break it down. I think those videos, I think, are fine when they do, like, a reaction or breakdown. But if you're just doing, like, a reaction, sitting, like, 10 minutes on a video, video that's, like, 2 minutes long, you react to it, and then you just talk nonsense for just 8 minutes just to, stretch it out, past 8 minutes, I think that that's just dishonest. Like, what I did with the GTA 6 reaction, for example, is I looked at the GTA 6 trailer, I reacted to it, you guys saw my first reaction to it, so I did not watch it before I made that video. That thing, when you saw me watching it, that was the very first time I watched it. I didn't watch it before that. So it was my very first time just capturing my reaction to it, and then what I did was, I had given my thoughts on it. So I broke it down frame by frame, slowed it down, I explained what I think this means, what I think this part of the map is, and stuff like that. And so, I think that doing a reaction and doing a breakdown, I think, is fine, but just reacting to it with just no breakdown, no analysis, none of that stuff, just, trying to, like, laugh, I don't think that is justifiable. I don't think it is. That's just my opinion on it. And also, here's what I'll tell you guys about this. I personally think reaction content should be less than 20% of your videos. Like, on a YouTube channel, there's no reason that reaction content should be more than 20% of your videos. Because if reaction content is more than 20% of your videos, it's like, 1/3 of your videos are just you reacting to other people's videos. You're not even making stuff. So it's just a way for you just to milk easy views. It's like it's like the same thing with the GTA 6 clickbait. Like, when you guys watch the GTA 6 clickbait, like, these guys, they don't believe these leaks. These guys who are, posting this GTA 6 crap, they're just milking this crap for views. I had a guy that actually came into my comment section on my lore video, like, last night, the Leonida lore video, and he just started saying, he's like, oh, you hate on GTA 6, and now you're liking it, and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, where did I say that I hate GTA 6? But he started bringing up, he's like, you were complaining about Red Dead being cancelled, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, what does that have to do with, like, me saying that I don't like GTA 6? I never said that I didn't like GTA 6. I was pissed that Red Dead got cancelled for a reason, but basically a bunch of people got pissed at me that I started calling out the GTA 6 clickbait, and I started saying that a lot of it was nonsense, which a lot of it was. Honestly, the only time that the GTA 6 speculation was actually correct, like, the only time it was actually correct was when you had that poster, that billboard in the GTA 3 Definitive Edition, when you said, like, see you soon, and you saw, like, the Fly US plane. That was hinting that it was going to be towards Vice City. That was the only time the speculation was actually correct. The only time. Everything else, it was just stupid. It was just idiotic, it was dumb. But I will do that video, 9. And I also got a video coming out, another lore video, but it's gonna come out later in the month. So, like, later in the month, where I'm visiting a real-life location. So it's like a real-life location in a video game. And it's a crime game. So it's an open-world crime game that I've played before, and I'm visiting, like, the real-life location for that place. I've already been there. I've recorded everything. I just gotta edit that. And thank you, Blade of Stars. Hey, brother, everything good with you? I was meant to see my girlfriend this weekend, but I have COVID and I haven't seen her in a few weeks, and my folks also have it. I'm kind of depressed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Blade of Stars. I hope that you get better, man. I hope that I hope that you do make a full recovery, and I hope everything gets better. If you want to talk to me about anything, I can talk to you, Blade. Thank you for, the super chat. I do appreciate it. And thank you, Aiden. Hey, Professional, I'm glad you're finally playing Bully. I just wondered, what is your favorite thing about the game so far? Also, it's apparently in the GTA universe. You can see the school in GTA 4. Oh, so you can see it on the TV, I'm guessing, then? I would say my favorite thing about Bully is probably all the factions of students. Like, you have the greasers, the rich kids, the preppers, preppies, I think that's what they're called. You have the nerds, the jocks, and then a few of you guys told me that there's, like, another faction that I haven't encountered yet. Some people said dropouts is what they were called, but I haven't encountered that faction yet. Hey, Pro, keep up the good work. I will, will you ever play Max Payne 3 or Far Cry 3 in the future? Far Cry 3, I don't know. Far Cry 2, I definitely would play, because I just like Far Cry 2 so much. Max Payne 3, I'll definitely do a playthrough of again in the future. I just don't know when. Thank you, Golden Stripe. You mind if we call you Pat? That's perfectly fine. I have no issue with that. But yeah, what I was saying about the clickbait stuff, guys, is that I tend to avoid the speculation stuff. I just don't tend to do it because I think that personally, most of the time, it's just dishonest. And I think that the people that are doing it, I think that they are just milking it for views. That's just basically my whole thoughts on it. I don't think that it's honest. And I think they're just doing it just for easy ad revenue. That's it. I don't think they're putting any work into it. Anybody can just sit there and drive around for 8 minutes on GTA and then just, make, like, just react to some nonsense. Just talking nonsense. Oh, I want to see this in GTA 6 and that, and just reacting to some supposed fake leaks. So, yeah, but honestly, I sometimes, when I look at it, like, some of these people, they post, like, 3 GTA 6 speculation videos a day. I can't even post 1 GTA 6 speculation video. So I'm like literally, like, how do you do something like that? How do you post, like, 3 videos, like, a day on just talking nonsense? I don't know how people do that stuff. That's just, yeah. Oh, I missed your super chat. I'm sorry, Lyndon. Let me scroll back up. I'm sorry. Most foolhardy large army in human history. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna... Let me just Google what foolhardy means, just to make sure that I don't mess up the definition here. I think I know what foolhardy means, but I want to, Uh... So it's, You mean somebody that's like, if I understand it, you're asking me what the most bravest and dumbest army in history is? Is that what you're asking me? It's because it says brave and dumb. That's basically what the definition of foolhardy is, brave and dumb. Is that what you're asking me, Lendon? The most brave and dumbest army in history? The most brave and dumbest army in history at the same time, like an army that was brave but dumb? I'd have to think about that one. Just give me a little bit. I'd have to think about that. Hello, Cowboy John. You mean suicidal brave? I would, I would say probably, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I would say probably the bravest army that I can think of in the 20th century that were fighting, and they knew they were probably gonna lose, but they still kept fighting on, was probably the Finnish army. Probably them, I would probably say. Because in the Winter War, when the Soviet Union invaded Finland, trying to conquer Finland, they were so outnumbered, and not just outnumbered, outgunned. It was like literally 20-1. And the Finns just fought so bravely, they just kept fighting and fighting and would just resist, and they would not give up. They just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and they stalled the Soviet army. They inflicted such heavy casualties on the Red Army. The Red Army lost so many men in Finland. It was that campaign was a disaster for the Red Army. The Red Army eventually ended up winning. They did win in the Winter War, but Finland was able to still retain their independence, but they had to give away a huge portion of their land. But just the Soviets had so many casualties. So the Finns knew they weren't going to win, but they inflicted such high casualties on the Soviets, they were just going to resist till the very end. Do I own Take-Two stock? That is a good question. What happened with Take-Two stock is what ended up happening is the day before the weekend before the trailer. So what happened was, on Friday, I had purchased a few shares in Take-Two Interactive because I was basically hoping to just resell them really quickly on Tuesday when the GTA 6 trailer dropped, so I did buy a few shares. It's the first time that I did anything on the stock market in a long time, in like maybe like half a year, maybe like 8 months, because I haven't done something in a very long time on the stock market. But that was like the first time I did something on the stock market. I bought a few shares of Take-Two Interactive, and it was a stupid thing that I did. It was a dumb thing that I did. The reason it was kind of dumb is because I was hoping that the Take-Two shares would just jump right after the GTA 6 trailer, and what happened was they were just going up. The day before they were going up, the shares were going up. But then what ended up happening is the hackers leaked the GTA 6 trailer, and what happened is the investors, they got really scared and they started selling off the stock, and then the stock fell. It fell by I think like $2 or $3, which is just not good. And I held on to the stock, and then a few days later it went back by up a few dollars, and I sold it. I made a little bit of a profit. I didn't make that much, but I just got rid of it because I just didn't want to risk something like that happening again. So that was that's pretty much what it was about. No, this is not pre-recorded. I'm answering questions right now. Can you eat snacks while you're driving? What, in GTA? Yeah, I mean, you go to the interaction menu and you just hit snacks. If you're talking about in real life, I don't know the laws on every state specifically in that, but some states might have specific laws on that. When it comes to snacks, I don't want to answer the question because I'm not knowledgeable on it. But as long as it's not, I'm pretty certain, I could be wrong on this, but as long as it's not impairing your driving, you know, somebody can eat something, but as long as it's not, impairing their driving, but I'm not completely certain on that. Using your phone while driving should be illegal. Well, it's already illegal. It is. You can't use your phone while driving. The only the only time that you can use your phone while driving, technically, is if your phone is like connected to like a Bluetooth. If your phone is like connected to a Bluetooth and you don't even have to touch the phone, you just touch your steering wheel and you press like the button to answer the call and you talk through your car speaker, then that's legal. But if you can't just sit there with your phone, while you're driving. That's well, Golden. He has to apologize to the people he specifically griefed. If they accept his apology, then I'll be fine with it. But he has to apologize to the people that he griefed. It's not up to me; it's up to them. Let me see here. How much money did you make from Take-Two stock? Not a lot. I literally paid like, maybe like $100. So it wasn't like a lot. It wasn't like a lot. It was minimal. I would say it was still like $100. It was still like that, but I just got rid of it because I was scared it was gonna fall again. So it was I bought a bunch of shares of it and then I just got rid of it when it went up a little bit. Is it worth playing GTA Definitive Edition 2023? Well, it's much better than what it was, but it still has issues. Possible date for the update Tuesday. Can I show my settings? What settings? Oh, I missed a super chat. I'm sorry. Are stocks a safe form of gambling than gambling in a casino? Yes, and I'll answer your question. Well, I mean, it's more safe, but I'll answer your question in a moment here. What to do when you're sick, for me, is running nose. What I like to do, if I have a running nose, what I like to do is I like to take vitamin C. I just take, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and usually I'll just have some tea and lie down. That's usually what I do when I have a running nose. But thank you, Nick. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, London. Completely forgot about the finish and them fighting in Whiteout Bad Winter. That is the definition of foolhardy, second to the Rising Sun Empire. The thing about Finland is what people get wrong about the Russian army is people think the Russian army is this unstoppable force that the winter doesn't affect at all. The winter affects every single army to a degree. Some armies it affects more than others. But I'll tell you this, the Finnish, are more resistant to the cold than the Russians are. The only Russians that I could imagine that would be more resistant to the cold than the Finns, it would probably have to be like the Siberians that like live in the Arctic. They might be more resistant to the cold than the Finns. But the Finns generally are more resistant to the cold even than the Russians, because that's what happened when the Russian army invaded Finland in the winter. They froze. Most parts of Finland are colder than most parts of Russia in the winter, so that's what a lot of people don't know. Is the Russian army froze invading Finland. Let me answer your question here. Are stocks a safe form of gambling than gambling in a casino? It's more safe. But technically, I guess it is a form of gambling. I guess it's legal gambling is what you would call it in most places. What I'll say about the stock market is my personal advice, and this is just, you don't have to follow this advice, but this is just, just what I personally think, is that the people that constantly buy lottery tickets, people that constantly buy lottery tickets or they go to the casino and gamble, I don't understand. Why don't those people just learn the stock market, learn how to trade stocks instead of gambling at the casino or constantly buying lottery tickets? Learn how to actually buy and sell stocks, because there is risk in selling the stocks. There's no doubt about it. But buying and selling stocks is less risk than gambling in a casino, because if you know what you're doing, the stock market, chances are you can make money. You can still get unlucky. It can still happen. There's no doubt about it. Even the best investors lose money. But the stock market takes much more skill to learn and master than like, a casino. So you can put money into stocks, learn how to trade, and start making money from that. So I don't understand the people that just gamble. Why don't they just, learn how to do the stocks instead. But the reason I think that most gamblers don't try the stock market is because they probably want the winnings now. That's probably the ultimate reason. They want the money now. They don't want to wait. They're not patient because, stocks typically, to turn a profit on stocks, you typically got to wait. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky and sell in the same week, but but for the most part, you're going to have to sit on that stock for some time. And I don't think that the gamblers can handle sitting on something for some time. They want the money now. So, oh, I don't buy stocks anymore. I haven't done it in some time. I've made a pledge to myself that I'm not really going to do it anymore. I've done kind of well in the stock market in the past, but I'm just taking a break from it now. The Take-Two thing was the last thing that I touched, and thankfully I got out of it with still somewhat of a profit. So that's, so I'm just not touching it anymore. It's just it for me right now. Hey Pro, how you doing? Some scumbag broke into my house Thursday and tried to attack me and steal some stuff, so I'm glad I have your stream to calm me down. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Robbie. That's horrible. Did you file a police report? Did the guy get caught? Thank you for the super chat, Robbie. I'm really sorry that happened. But I'm just glad that you're okay, Robbie. Hey Pro, I've been here since you done just GTA videos. Glad I stuck around. Keep it up. Like the effort you put into your lore videos. Thank you, Golden Stripe. Thanks, man. But Robbie, are you okay? I'm just looking for your comment again. And Robbie, I hope that you didn't have problems if you defended yourself. Guy has not been caught by police. Report has been done. Did the police give you any problems, Robbie? Because you said that he attacked you. Because you're in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Because certain places, if somebody breaks into your house in certain countries, there are certain laws that you actually have to retreat. So you have to actually run out of your property. The only time that self-defense is generally allowed in a lot of other countries is when you can't escape. But even then, the police could still give you problems. That's the thing about it, is that it's just sometimes it can be really hard to defend your home. Oh no, he didn't touch me. Oh, okay, well that's good at least. Your armies are so big, our land is so small, where you will find the space to bury you all Finns during the Winter War. Yeah, and I think the Winter War is probably the biggest disaster, probably the biggest military disaster in Russian history. Because even though they did ultimately win the Winter War, if you see the amount of casualties that they got for just getting that small piece of territory, that was not worth it. So the Winter War is probably the biggest, tactical military disaster for Russia in their history. Okay, let's drop it here. Thank you, Insane Hippie, for the super chat. Hi, Pro. Sending love from Manchester, UK. You should visit it sometime to be in the UK. Yeah, my cousin actually does not live too far from there, so I wouldn't mind visiting the UK one day. I heard that claiming self-defense is hard in Great Britain. Yeah, that's the thing about that. Is for me, I just my opinion on this personally is I think you have a right to defend your home. I think if somebody breaks into your home, I think you have a right to defend it. That's just my personal viewpoint on it. I think that your home is your castle, and I think that you have the right to defend it. And so I don't think the government should be telling people that they have to flee. I think it's their house, and they shouldn't have to flee. That's just my personal viewpoint on it, my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, but that's just the way I feel about it. Let me see here. He tried to kick down the bathroom door, but I locked myself in there and called the police. Oh, man, I'm sorry that happened to you, Robbie. When's the Modern Warfare 2023 review? Later this month. I promise I'll have it up, Snake. I promise that. So I'm giving my word it'll still be up. I just been delayed by just so many projects. Do you like coffee or chai? Chai means tea. I do love tea. I don't really drink coffee, but I like tea. You said the same about Micah lore. Well, Micah is just a project that I've just been working on. I've been working on that project for just some time. I never have gotten around to it, so I do apologize for that. It's just my bad. But the Modern Warfare 3 lore, I promise you, it will be up this month. I promise you, you can hold me to it. It will be up this month. Yeah, you guys have to understand, though, is the reason that sometimes I don't release lore videos is because I just have so many things to do. It's just like the playthroughs, the streams, the lore videos, the guides. Sometimes an update comes out, so there's just so many things, and I have some real life things that go on, and so that's so a lot of times things get pushed back because of that. Bro, if you come over, I'd stay away from Old Trafford. Oh, what's that? Is that a neighborhood? Have you seen China's new cloaking device? No, I haven't, Zach. What is it, like the Chinese stealth armor in Fallout? Thank you, Dylan and, Zach. Oh, it's a football stadium. Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Well, Robbie, what it might have been is it might have been a drug addict, because there are drug addicts that actually break into people's houses and they're just looking for money to just satisfy their drug habit. Yes, I'm 29. GTA 5's a story of 4, which do you prefer more? 4. I just like the seriousness and the dark atmosphere of 4 more. Thank you, Samuel, for the super chat. No, UMG did not release the claim. They didn't. You're the GOAT. Keep it up, bud. Thank you, man.
We should smoke one together soon.
I'm 25 as of December 4th. Oh, well, happy late birthday, though, man. The police came to my house back in March 1st. I thought they were coming for me. Oh. Why'd they go to your house? A robber stole the water motor from a neighbor's house, my god. Oh. What did the police tell you, by the way, Robbie? Okay. And this will be the last business I help you with, Pierce. I'm gonna help somebody with their stuff after this too. Oh no, this isn't a Polish hat. I did Mafia 1 and 2 in the past, but I'm willing to do them again. It's been some years since I've done them. Since you're from New York, do you think GTA 4 depiction was accurate? The map layout, yes. So New Jersey is on the left side, Manhattan is in the middle, Brooklyn is to the southeast, and Queens is to the west. And then Bronx would be north, but Bronx is more above Manhattan. It's not to like the right side of Manhattan, but they were also missing Staten Island, which would be on the bottom left side of Manhattan. So they were missing a bunch of places, but to a degree, yes, the map layout is accurate. Oh, whoa. Thank you, ID, anymore, bruh. Oh, thank you, man. And, the police said as if nothing value was taken and I was not injured and I couldn't really identify him. It will be hard to find him, and it's not a priority despite me being 17 years old. What I'll tell you is this is what a lot of people don't know about the police. Is that I don't know how the police are in your country, Robbie. You're in the UK, right? But in America, for the most part, the police actually do not have an obligation to protect you. A lot of people actually don't know that. The police will help you. Sure, they'll come to your aid. But they don't have an obligation to help you in most cases. The police have an obligation to uphold the law and arrest people, but not necessarily to protect you. And I remember there was a case that happened like a few years ago where there was hostages or something like that, and the police basically took too long to respond. A bunch of people got hurt by criminals, and a bunch of people took the police to court and sued them, saying the police did not protect them, didn't act quick enough. And the courts basically said the police do not have an obligation to protect you, they only have an obligation to uphold the law. So ultimately, the way that I personally see it is you are ultimately responsible for yourself. I know that a lot of other countries, they don't allow, self-defense, which is unfortunate. But it's like a lot of times the police are just, they can't always be there. But I'm really sorry that you went through that, Robbie. And it's just that, yeah, I'm really sorry you went through that, Robbie. But I'm glad you're okay, man. So you just can't you can't count on the government to protect you. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how it is in your country, Robbie, if the police can be held liable for not, helping. But in my country, they can't. So. Video on Rockstar's gaming impact and competition with GTA 6. Well, GTA 6 really has no competition, E-Man. Yeah, there's really no competition for it. I don't know if I'll make a video on that, Rockstar's gaming impact. There was a video that I wanted to make, which is kind of the opposite, which is like top 10 Rockstar controversies, which I was thinking about doing that. UK police are the worst. I was leaving for a football game, and one policeman assumed I was approaching another fan, so slapped me and attacked me. What? Well, thank you, EZP. Well, look, here's the thing. The police don't have an obligation to protect you, at least in my country. But if they falsely arrest you, and if they injure you, you can sue them in most cases. To be honest, I'm more concerned about just moving on right now. It's unlikely they will come back, and I don't want to move homes because of him. Oh, okay, Robbie. I understand. Pierston, I'm gonna help somebody else right now, because it's helped you a lot with this, sales. I was charged despite him hitting me 15 times. What? Yeah, I would talk to a lawyer about that, EZP, because you might have a case there. I would talk to a lawyer about that, see if he can get anything done on that. But, yeah, there is a, What I will say about, burglars, like, people that break into homes, there's like a lot of people out there that I've seen comments of people saying that, for example, they say that property is not worth hurting somebody over, and when they say that, they're mostly talking with the homeowner. They're saying, it's not worth, fighting somebody over your property, or stuff like that. But think about it this way. Imagine if somebody was breaking into your house, and that person that was breaking into your house was going through your jewelry cabinet, and they were taking something, like a piece of jewelry, that, like, your great-great-great-grandmother maybe, like, purchased, and it's been in the family for, you know, well over 100 years. Do you really want the burglar to get away with that? So that's, so, like, you know, a precious family heirloom. That's what I think a lot of people don't understand. Is sometimes people work for their property. They work for their property. They put, you know, their sweat and tears into their property, into what they have. And if somebody, like, burglarizes your business, if you're, like, a business owner, and somebody burglarizes your business, just steals your money, steals, you know, all the stuff in your store, you know, who's gonna pay for that? Who is? You know, you could go out of business. You could lose your livelihood because of that. So that's why, so when I say people, like, say that it's, oh, you know, you should always flee, I guess it really depends on the person and what they want to do, but I don't think that they understand that property is something that people work really hard for as well. And what I'll say in regards to the burglars, if burglars don't want to get hurt when they're breaking into houses, it's very simple. Don't break into houses. That's all it takes. You know, it's a genius idea, right? Don't break into houses if you don't want to get hurt. That's just it. That's like my piece of advice for burglars. If you don't want to get hurt, don't break into a house. That's just it. Stop doing that. Anybody else need help with anything, just send me an invite. In most places, Bali. Thank you, Pro. Still in court. It's been 9 months while the officer has gotten away with it scot-free. Have you talked to a lawyer about it, though? You said it's been in court 9 months. Is that a Baker hat? No, this is just a flat cap. You feel bad for the Saints Row Company being Volition? No. I would say not. If anything, I'm more hurt about what has happened to Saints Row. So I'm more hurt by what's happened to the Saints Row series. But when it comes to the developers, do I feel bad for them? No, I don't. I tried to feel bad for the developers in a way, but when the developers lashed out at their fans, you know, they called their fans bigots. You know, one of the community manager even, like, you know, suggested the fans were terrorists. You know, when, you know, you have a developer that does stuff like that and just doubles down on it and will not, they will not change the game despite so many of the fans not liking it, then I think that, that it's ultimately their fault. They brought it on themselves. And look, here's one thing I'll tell you guys. Ubisoft is a crappy company. But the thing about this is Ubisoft has actually learned from a lot of mistakes they've actually had in the past. I'll give you a perfect example. There was this one game coming out, and I forget the name of the game. Somebody in the comments might know what the game is. But what basically happened was Ubisoft was releasing this game, and it was supposed to be an open world game, but it was going to be an open world Ghost Recon game. And it was going to be like a massive multiplayer game, and it was going to be a Battle Royale game. It was going to be like this Battle Royale Ghost Recon game. I forget what it was called. But anyways, about that, is that game got so much hate, and people got so pissed at that game. The reason people got pissed at that game is because it was Ubisoft's attempt at Warzone. That's pretty much what it was. Is people said, we don't want some Special Forces Battle Royale crap. We want to see a Ghost Recon game. We want to see actual Special Forces. We want to see Special Forces missions, stealth missions. We don't want to see, you know, Battle Royale Special Forces. We want to see actual stealth Special Forces, actual tactical Special Forces. And what happened was Ubisoft canceled that Battle Royale game. They got rid of it before it released. They said, okay, we're going to work on another Ghost Recon game. We're going to get rid of this. And so they did the right thing by canceling that game, and now they're working on some unannounced, you know, Ghost Recon project. And hopefully that project is actually good. Ghost Recon Frontline, you got it there. That was it. So that's what the developers of Saints Row should have done. When they saw the backlash the reboot got, they should have just said, okay, what are we doing wrong? Let's sit down, let's have an emergency, you know, meeting right now. Let's look at what the community is saying, and, you know, we fix the game, we make it how the people want the game to be, we make it actual gangsters, not like, you know, some college kids trying to pay off student loans. And if we can't fix the game that we have right now, we start from scratch all over again. That's what Ubisoft Volition should have done. That. Not this crap. But what they did was they doubled down. They doubled down, they attacked the fans, And, that. It's also very, likely an invader wants to harm, rape instead of steal. Either way, they have valued their life below property. I didn't make that choice. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat. Yeah, so, what I've noticed is that, like, a lot of people say that it's not worth, it's not worth hurting somebody over property if you have, like, a burglar coming into your house. But what a lot of people don't think about is they don't think about that burglar has valued your property over their own safety, too. Because, look, here's what I'm saying is, I'm not saying to hurt them, but what I'm saying is this, is these burglars, at least in my country in America, you have 60% of homes in this country, own firearms. And so if you're a burglar going around breaking into people's houses, and you know that the chances are that somebody in that house has a gun, and they're willing to defend themselves, you're an idiot. Burglars already are idiots. But, somebody is already doing that. It's their own fault. They have basically hurt themselves when you really think about it. So that's the way that I personally see it, is that if a burglar breaks into somebody's house and the homeowner defends themselves and hurts that burglar in response, it's ultimately the burglar's fault. Everything that happened at that point is the burglar's fault, because the burglar would have never been hurt in the first place if they hadn't broken the house. That's just it. Is you're breaking into houses where people could possibly be armed, and you're still doing it. It's ultimately their fault. They're completely at fault for their own injuries. That's just my view on it. I'm not saying people should go and hurt burglars, but I'm just saying is that people will defend their properties. They will. People are very defensive of their property, and that's I hate when burglars sue for injuries then won. Yeah, that has happened a lot of times, and that is stupid. I will agree with you on that. The thing about that is that how the court should basically look at that, they should be like, well, you wouldn't have gotten hurt in the first place if you hadn't broken in the house, so basically it forfeits this entire lawsuit. That's, Is it true that it's a bit risky to bring up self-defense in court since you're admitting to killing somebody? Well, self-defense doesn't necessarily mean that somebody dies. There could be self-defense without somebody dying. But it's always... If God forbid that situation happens to you, where somebody breaks into your home and you defend yourself, is, immediately contact the police. But depending on the state that you're in specifically, you might want to talk to a lawyer. That just might be the best piece of advice there. And then your lawyer can give you a statement explaining to the police what happened. The lawyer will basically say what you said, that the burglar broke into the house, and then the police can't use that against you when your lawyer, brings it up to them. So it's coming from your lawyer. So that's what I would say about that. Because you just never know how situations are going to, end. But what I'll tell you guys is, there was this case that happened like a few years ago. And this case had blown up. Like, this video, there's a YouTube video, it has like millions of views. It's like really, really watched. So, like, a lot of people saw it. And I think the dad was fully justified in the situation. But basically what happened was, there was this girl that, like, lived home with her parents. And this girl had dated this guy in the past. And she broke up with him. I don't remember what the reason she broke up with him was for. But they were separated for a few years. So they weren't dating for a few years. And all of a sudden, a few years later, the ex-boyfriend starts texting the girlfriend. Just starts texting her. And she ignores it. She doesn't respond to any of the messages, doesn't talk to him, doesn't want to talk to him. He's her, that's her ex-boyfriend. And what ends up happening is, I think this was Ohio where this happened. The boyfriend got really pissed that the ex-girlfriend didn't reply to any of his messages. And what he did was, he went to the house where she lived. But he didn't just go to the house. He stood at the door, and he started ringing the doorbell. Just like a normal person would. But then when the family didn't answer the door, what he started to do is he tried to break the door down. Like, he was actually trying to force his way through. Like, he was tugging on that door. He was trying to break in. That was at that point. He was trying to break that door down and get in that house and hurt her. And what ends up happening is, the girl starts screaming. The dad basically comes in the living room. He sees the guy, breaking in. And this is all on camera. This was all recorded on camera. So you can see it. And the dad basically tells the boyfriend don't come in here, I have a gun. And he yells it specifically in the video. He says several times, do not come in here, stop, I have a gun, stop. Guess what? The boyfriend didn't listen. He breaks the door down. The second he breaks the door down, the dad just unloads into him. I don't know how many times he shot him, but he shot him a bunch of times, and the second that he got hit, he turned around, and he just collapsed. He ran out in the driveway and collapsed, and died there. And there was a lot of people that were like, I looked at the comment section, and there was like a lot of people that were, they were like saying in the comments, oh, you know, the dad didn't need to do that, the guy didn't have a gun, but here's the thing is, the dad was protecting his daughter. He was thinking about his daughter's well-being. This guy was like a psycho ex-boyfriend that was stalking his daughter, and he was trying to break in. He was trying to force the door down. The dad gave him multiple warnings. He told him, don't come in here, I have a gun, don't come in here, and the boyfriend was still trying to break down the door. So at that point, it didn't matter whether the boyfriend had a gun or not. The boyfriend was a threat. He was trying to come in the house, he was trying to break the door down, and when he was getting in the house, the dad shot him. And that was it. And think about it this way. The dad's an older guy. The boyfriend could have possibly overpowered him. Even if the boyfriend didn't have a gun, the boyfriend could have probably overpowered him, could have killed the dad, could have strangled his girlfriend. That situation could have been a double, triple murder if the dad hadn't shot him. So that boyfriend was not trying to do something nice when he was trying to break down the door. He was trying to actually physically hurt the girl. So there's a lot of people, when I read the comment section, there's a lot of people saying, oh, the guy didn't have a gun, the dad didn't need to shoot him, but they don't fully understand the situation. And think about it this way, if you're, put yourself in the position of that dad. Your girlfriend's psycho ex-boyfriend is stalking her, wants to hurt her, and now he's trying to kick down the door, trying to threaten your child. Your parental instincts are going to kick in, and you're going to do everything in your power to protect your daughter. And the police looked at the video. They saw the video where the dad was yelling at him, don't come in here, I have a gun. They saw him breaking down the door, and when he broke down the door, the dad shot him and killed him. And the police dropped all charges. So the dad wasn't charged, the dad was, you know, declared not guilty, but it just personally pissed me off when I saw, like, comments of people saying, oh, the dad should have been charged, you know, that he shot an unarmed guy. The guy was a threat. That was an accident, by the way. I didn't know he didn't do that on purpose, but this, my friend just accidentally hit me, but the guy was a threat. He was trying to actually hurt his daughter. He was trying to come in the house. And what I'll say about this is, you have to be a really sick person. You have to be extremely mentally unstable to still try to break down a door. Like, if you're trying to break down a door, you're already a crazy person. But if you're trying to break down the door, when somebody on the other side of the door is yelling, I have a gun, don't come in here, and you're still trying to break down the door, you are clearly mentally unstable. And so that was it. I think the dad did right. I think, you know, he defended his daughter, and that was it. You can see the video on YouTube. You can see, like, just look up ex-boyfriend tries to break down door, and you'll see the entire video. But that's why I say is, like, a lot of people in the comment section, they didn't seem to understand the full situation of that video, and the dad was, in my opinion at least, I personally think my opinion, feel free to disagree with me, but I think the dad was justified in doing what he did. So that entire situation could have been completely avoided if the ex-boyfriend had never broken down the door. That entire situation could have been avoided. So I think it's a good idea that GTA 6 will come out in 2025, because it won't be in the election year of 2024. Well, there still will be stuff brought up from the election, definitely, you know, we just have these really older people that are constantly running. I'm not going to get into the political side of anything, but yeah, it's just this election is just going to be really messy when this, you know, happens next year. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be something that people are going to talk about for years to come. Thank you, Chrysland, for the super chat. I'm Hoovian. I'm in a new account, and this super chat is the only contact I get with you because I'm hidden. And Iced Coffee Lady has forgiven, and Def also. I'm trying to contact with Daniel and Chas. I'm a member. Well, look, Hoovian. I'll tell you this: is I appreciate your super chat. I thank you for the super chat, but it is ultimately up to the other two people. So you're saying that Iced Coffee Lady and Dave has forgiven you? If Daniel and Chas forgive you, then I'll be fine with it at that point, and I'll add you back. But but you can't just make a super chat and just think that it's I don't know if that's what you're going for, but you can't just make a super chat and think that it's, you know, it's all over at that point. If Chaz and I'm sure Chaz is on the stream here. If Chaz you know, Chaz I think is watching the stream. If Chaz forgives you and Daniel forgives you, then it'll be all right. I'll add you back, and you can, you know, help in the streams and stuff like that. For people that don't know what's going on here, this is just a drama situation that happened like half a year ago, where there was this a griefing incident, and Hoovian had gotten mad and had griefed Cargo during a public stream. But he seems to be sorry right now. But just know, Hoovian, and I'm not trying to be rude to you or anything like that. I do appreciate the super chat, but you just can't you can't donate thinking that'll be okay after that. So if it's up to the other people. I'm indifferent about this whole thing. I'm neutral. I'm not taking a side on this. But it's up to the other people. If the other people say it's okay and they forgive you, the people that you griefed, then I'll add you back. It's up to the other people. So it's whatever they choose. If they choose no, then I won't add you back. If they choose yes, I'll add you back. It's ultimately up to them. So they were the ones who were affected, and it's up to them. See, griefers should never get a second chance. Well, I leave it up to the affected parties. That's what I leave it up to. I leave it up to the people that got griefed, and it's their choice. If they forgive the guy or not, it's just their choice. But I don't take donations and add people back. I don't do stuff like that. So it's ultimately up to the other people. If they decide on it, if they forgive him, then I will accept the apology too. So it's up to the other parties. That's how I've always done it. Is whenever I have had a grieving situation, how I've always done it. Well, it was an incident. He hasn't griefed in the past before. He's done it one time, but he got really pissed on a live stream. There's a live stream. It happened like half a year ago. He got pissed on a live stream half a year ago, and he started blowing up people's cargo during the live stream. And that was that was the first time he did it. But typically, my policy is, with people apologizing for griefing, is I always leave it up to the other people involved. So I always say that if the other people forgive him, the people who got griefed, if they forgive him, then I give him a second chance. But I don't give another chance after that. So if it happens again after that, they will never ever get another chance again, ever. So that's just my view on it. So it's ultimately up to the people. So whatever the people want, if they forgive him, if the people forgive him, the two other people forgive him, then it was then I will I'll accept it. But I'm just letting you know, Huvian, it is up to the other people involved. It is not up to me whatsoever. So just know that if you make donations, I'm not going to just add you back because you just made donations. So it's ultimately up to the people. They have to accept the apology. And if they accept your apology and you're sincere about it, then I will consider adding you back. But that's just my policy on it. Let me see here. Well, I get it, that other people aren't going to be trusting, but here's the thing, is, it's up to the other two people, and let's just say the other two people do accept his apology. If they do, then, if he ever does it again, he is permanently, blocked. He will never come back again. But it's ultimately up to the other people, so it's ultimately up to what they think. Will my Xbox Series S handle GTA 6, or look bad? Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X. I'm a bit confused with the differences between the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, so I don't know. But I'm sure if it's like the latest gen console, I'm sure it'll be able to handle it, no problem. What are your thoughts on Skull and Bones by Ubisoft? Yes, that's a great question. Skull and Bones is actually a game that I am interested in. Why did he get mad? Oh, somebody wasn't helping him with his selling or something like that, and he got all pissed, and that was basically the end of that. But that's basically what I'm saying to you, Corey, is, apologize to the people involved, and if they accept your apology, then I will add you back. But it is ultimately up to them. They're the ones who decide on it, not me. S is digital. Oh, S is digital. Okay. Are you going to do a lore video on Gary's betrayal? Maybe I'll do that. Sky, thank you for the super chat. S is a lower resolution version of the Xbox. Oh, okay. And thank you, I don't know anymore, bro. Thank you for the super chat, too. I think that if it's the next-gen console, I think you'll still be able to run GTA 6, no problem. Do I watch sports? There is very few sports that I will watch. I was actually watching sports today, ironically, for the first time in months. Because I'm visiting my parents right now, and I sat down with my dad, and I watched earlier, like a few hours ago, I watched some like boxing fight with my dad. There was like an English guy boxing like a Polish guy. It was earlier today. It was like over a championship belt, and the Polish guy, it ended on round 8. He lost because I think it was like one of his bones got broken, and so it just ended on there. But that was like a boxing fight that I was watching today. I forget the fighter's name, so I don't know. The only thing I know is he's a Polish guy versus an English guy, and they were fighting for some championship belt. It happened today. The champion retained his title, so he kept his title. The Polish guy lost. No, it's boxing. I can't watch UFC. I don't like UFC. If I'm gonna watch anything, it'll only be boxing. That's it. I'm not gonna watch UFC. I just don't like UFC personally. I only like boxing. Do you think GTA 6 Online should allow money and character transfers from GTA 5 Online? Why or why not? I kind of half agree with it. Do I think that GTA 6 Online should allow character transfers? The money? No. I think that everybody should have to start all over again. Because it's going to put people who buy the game are going to be put at a massive disadvantage if all the returning players can just buy everything in the game. It's not going to make sense. So I think you should have to start over with money-wise. When it comes to your character, it's going to be a brand new engine, so you're going to have to make a new character. But what I will say is I want to be able to keep the rank. Like, you guys see my rank 1,379. I want to keep my rank 1,379 in GTA 6. So I'm probably going to be like rank 1,500 by the time the GTA 6 comes out. But I want to be able to keep my rank, because I've worked really hard on this rank, and I just want to keep the rank. I don't care about my character, how my character looks. I don't care about my money. They can take my money when GTA 6 comes out. The only thing I want is I just want to keep my rank, because I just worked so hard on this rank. I've had, 470 days played on GTA Online. I've had more than 1.5 years of my life played on this game. So that's how much. And when I say 470 days played, I'm talking that in time. So I've been playing since 2013. So I literally had a year and a half of my life on this game. So that's, Hey, Pro, I can't wait to see you complete Bully. Okay, thank you, Communist Corner. Thank you for the super chat. I wonder if there will be a parley option in GTA 6 like there was in Red Dead Redemption 2 to prevent griefers. Yeah, and I'm going to say something is, on day 1 of GTA 6, day 1 of GTA 6, they should let you do everything in friend sessions. Everything. So whatever businesses, whatever you have to do to make money in free mode in GTA 6, let us do it in friend sessions right away in day 1. Because none of this in public sessions. You can do it in public sessions, sir. Maybe they could give you a little bit of a more reward for doing stuff in public sessions, like a high demand bonus. Like they do in this game, but let everybody do all their businesses, everything in invite-only sessions. Let them do that, just so they don't get ruined by somebody. But look on the bright side. At least in GTA 6, when somebody's gonna want to kill you, they're gonna have to drive to you or fly a helicopter to you. They can't just come over and just blow you up with a Pressure Mark II orbital cannon you. At least I hope not. Have I ever heard of Unit 731? Yes, I have. I've heard of Unit 731 before. Unit 731 is a covert Japanese biological chemical weapons division. And they did some really horrible things. They would kidnap people from villages in China. They would do horrible experiments on them. They would experiment on them with diseases. They would cut people open that were alive. They would test flamethrowers on people. It's horrible. They also took a lot of prisoners of war. So prisoners of war sometimes get shipped there and experimented on. That happened as well, too. It was horrible. The really messed up thing about Unit 731 is that Shiro Ishii, the head scientist that was involved in all those experiments, he got away with it. He never got prosecuted for it. The U.S. actually dropped charges against him. If you're wondering why the U.S. would drop charges against a Japanese scientist that, committed such horrible things, like this guy was the Japanese Mengele. That's pretty much what he was. He was like, he was an evil Japanese doctor that was just experiment on people during World War II. The reason that the U.S. dropped charges against him is because he agreed to turn over all his research. So all his research on chemical weapons and diseases and everything like that, he agreed to turn that over to the U.S. In exchange, the U.S. just dropped all their charges against him. That guy was an absolute monster. That guy should have been hanged. I don't care what kind of information he was holding on to. That guy should have been executed. And I'll tell you guys this is normally I don't praise the Soviet Union in their history, but the one good thing that I will say the Soviets did, the one good thing that they did do is the Soviets actually caught some of the Unit 731 scientists. They hanged them. They killed them. So that's the one good thing that I'll say. One of the few times that I will praise the Soviet Union in history is they executed some of those Japanese scientists. But the top scientists, they escaped. They got captured by the U.S. So that was that's what I'll say about it. Is hello, Pro. My grandpa had a heart attack and he survived. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that, Mark. I hope that your grandpa is okay. I'm really sorry to hear about that, Mark. Do I know about inmate 4859? Thank you, generals. Is that the Polish guy? I think I know who you're talking about. He infiltrated. Yes, I know this guy's story. Yes, this guy, Witold Pilecki. I know him. Yes, I was a little puzzled by the inmate name, but I know this guy. This inmate 4859. For people that don't know who he was a Polish Polish resistance fighter that had gone undercover. So he volunteered and got captured. So he was taken to Auschwitz, the concentration camp, and so he got captured by the Nazis on purpose so that he would be taken to a concentration camp so that he could gather evidence on what they were doing. And he not only did he gather evidence, but he escaped. He escaped, and he's one of the first few people that actually reported on the Holocaust as it was happening. So that guy is one of the first few people that actually reported on the Holocaust actually happening. And the really sad thing about him is he was actually executed after World War II. He survived World War II. He got executed by Stalin. Stalin had him killed. So that's what's so messed up about that story. If you want to know why Stalin had him killed, is because he was a Polish patriot. He loved Poland, and he would fight and defend Poland, and he hated the communist government in Poland, and so the communist puppet Soviet government, and so Stalin hated that and had him shot. And that was, that's just horrible. Also, the Polish communist government slandered him after his death. They slandered him, they slandered his name. He was not fully rehabilitated until the fall of Poland. I mean, the fall of communist Poland. That's, Do I think it's gonna be hard to make money in GTA 6 Online? Harder than GTA Online, yes, it will be. What do I think of Holocaust deniers? I think that they're stupid. I think that I don't know how anybody could possibly claim that today with all the evidence that has been shown. I don't know how anybody can say something like that. And usually what you will notice is the people that oftentimes deny genocide, deny it happening. Usually the people that deny genocide happening are oftentimes extremely racist against the group of people that the genocide happened to. So if you just notice that, the people who deny the genocide are oftentimes extremely racist against the people who were killed in the genocide.
Are you standing me up again?
So that's happened. Is the people, for example, the people that oftentimes deny the Armenian genocide in Turkey are very racist against Armenians. The people who deny the Holocaust are oftentimes extremely anti-Semitic. And so in their minds, they have convinced themselves that the regime that they have supported could not possibly do something that horrible. I hope I answered your question there, Ryan. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, I know what you're talking about. The former Prime Minister of Iran did deny the Holocaust. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was the guy whose name was Ahmadinejad. That guy was a massive piece of crap. Let's go to the plains here. The best way, when you have somebody that denies a genocide, I think that the best way to deal with that is to have an argument with them, prove them wrong. I think that's probably the best thing that you can do. And if you're not going to convince them, then at least you've shown how stupid they are. How much did you pay for your friends to build your PC? Oh, I don't remember, man. This was like in 2019. My PC, it was decently priced. I think it was much more than what you would pay for a PS5. I think it was closer to like $1,000. I don't remember, but I paid my friend to build my gaming PC for me. Thank you, Matthew. And thank you, Ryan, for those super chats. Hey, Professional, GTA 5, 2011, 2013, Red Dead 2016, 2018, GTA 6, 23, 2025, so I know why people are mad about it. I guess it's because of all the delays, though, sensitivity. Oh, I think he's a friend of mine, Pierston. Take what, Casey? But I'll tell you that the people that deny genocide most of the time, those people, when it comes to the Holocaust, most of the people that deny the Holocaust are oftentimes white supremacists. When it comes to a lot of other genocides in history, the main reason that people oftentimes deny horrible events like that, they act like it didn't happen. The reason that they oftentimes deny stuff like that is because for them, it's both a sense of pride and shame. That's what it is. Is in their minds, they are so proud of their country. Usually those people are extremely nationalistic, and they are so proud of their country that they cannot, in their mind, imagine that their country in the past had just done such horrible things. And for them, it's the shame of admitting that their country had just committed such horrible atrocities, and so they don't want to admit to stuff like that. Like, for example, you have, I can name you a few countries, and not just countries, I can name you governments that deny genocide. You will have the government of Russia denies the Holodomor. They deny that that was a genocide. You have the government of Turkey that denies the Armenian genocide. You also have the government of Japan that they have admitted to some of the killings that they've done, but they've also denied a lot of the killings that they've done during World War II. The important thing is that countries should be willing, especially specifically governments, should be willing to admit to the horrible things that they've done, just to make sure that you don't repeat stuff like that in the past. Over here. Am I gonna do 100% completion stream of San Andreas? I don't know when. I still gotta do Saboteur completion and Red Dead. Yeah, the thing about that is Germany is actually one of the few countries in the world that fully admits to their dark past. Like, Germany has actually done a really good job of admitting to their dark past. Not a lot of countries teach about their dark past that much extensively as Germany does, so Germany has done a good job of admitting to their past. You managed to dominate a game at a fair. What game was it? Do I play games for fun or just for work? Both. Because when I play games on my channel, I'm doing it because it's for my livelihood. It is how I make money. It's how I support myself. But I also play these games for fun. Like, for example, when I do playthroughs, you will never see me doing a playthrough of a game that I don't enjoy. You will just never see it happen. The only time that I have, I've played a playthrough on my channel that I did not enjoy was when I played Saints Row. That was probably the only time, the reboot. That was the only time I didn't enjoy it. And the reason I did that playthrough ultimately on Saints Row is because I wanted to give the game a chance at least. Because I had those people that were like coming to my channel, like when I made videos criticizing Saints Row, the reboot, I had those people coming to my channel like be open-minded, professional, give it a chance. And so I was like, okay, fine, you know what, I'll do an entire playthrough of it, and then these people can't say that I wasn't open-minded. And so I did an entire playthrough of it, and I still don't like it. Yes, it will. Thank you, Indian Superman. Thank you for the, comment. Where would I live in Shoreshire Vale? Probably where all the houses were. He can't do the heist? Oh, he can't? Okay. Okay, is CS still here? He needed help. The real CS 0414, right? Why don't we do your... We'll do your heist in a little bit here. Yeah, I might make a video about that Florida Joker thing. I don't get involved in politics, Machiavelli. I stay away from that stuff. Let me see here. Many people focus on the bad parts of country's history rather than being thankful for all the good they have done. Thank you, Specialist, for the super chat. Countries have definitely done a lot of good things, and we should highlight the good things, but we should also remember the bad things. And countries should admit to the bad things that they've done, especially when they've harmed other peoples. They have to be willing to admit to that to move on. When GTA 6 comes out, will you make lore videos? Thank you, Matthew. I will definitely make lore videos. You know, I'll tell you guys something. A few years ago, I'm trying to remember what game was it? What game was it? Oh yeah, it was Ghost Recon Wildlands. So a few years ago, I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and what happened was, I had talked to this Turkish guy on Ghost Recon Wildlands. This was, you know, well before, you know, my YouTube channel blew up. But this was, I would say, like, 2017, maybe, like, late 2016, I think that's when the game came out. So it was, like, right around when the game was still new. And I was talking to this Turkish guy on Ghost Recon Wildlands. And the Turkish guy that I was talking to, we started talking about history and a bit about the Ottoman Empire. And when I asked him about, like, the horrible things the Ottoman Empire did, he was in complete denial about that. He would not admit to it. And when he started talking about Armenian people, he made it seem like the way he was talking about Armenian people, he made it seem like Armenian people were the devil. That's what he talked about. He's talked about, like, Armenian people are horrible, all this other stuff, like, just very racist against Armenian people. And he was just complete denial that his country would just commit just horrible murders and just horrible atrocities like that. And the thing about that is, I had actually told him that I was a Polish Tatar, which the Tatars are like a Turkish people that come from, like, they come from Central Asia. A lot of them immigrated into Eastern Europe hundreds of years ago. And when I told him that, he absolutely lost his crap when I told him that, because he started being racist towards me now, and he started saying to me that he's like, how can you be a Tatar and, like, you know, not defend Turkey, and, like, you know, you're a disgrace to the Turkish people, all this stuff like that. I don't consider myself Turkish. You know, I'm a Polish Tatar. You know, I come from, like, you know, a Polish family that's, like, you know, their ancestors are from Central Asia. They are Turkish people. But, like, he just started saying, like, you know, just really offensive things to me like that. And so he was in complete disbelief that I was, like, criticizing the Ottoman Empire. But that's what I say is that there's... Turkey specifically, what I'll say about Turkey is, I know that not everybody thinks like that guy in Turkey, but Turkey has a massive problem. Turkey has a massive problem with this in their government, because the Turkish government actively denies the Armenian genocide. So, like, in Turkish education and their government, they actively deny it. They pretend like the Armenian genocide did not happen. And Turkey really hates Armenia today. Like, Turkey and Armenia have very hostile relations today. Very, very hostile relations. And so it's proper education would do it. Like, would teach people in Turkey that the horrible things the Ottoman Empire did. But the thing about this is that the only people in history that actually have a positive view of the Ottoman Empire, the only people that I've seen that ever say good things about the Ottoman Empire, do you know what that is? Turkish nationalists, most of the time. I never see anybody else say anything good about the Ottoman Empire. You know, you will see, like, Armenians absolutely hated the Ottoman Empire. Greeks hated the Ottoman Empire. Arabs hated the Ottoman Empire. Bosnians hated the Ottoman Empire. Albanians hated the Ottoman Empire. So it's like, you go down the list of everybody that was occupied by the Ottoman Empire, nobody has good things to say about them. Everyone just hates the Ottoman Empire. The only people who think that the Ottoman Empire was a good thing are Turkish nationalists. Those are the only people that actually think that the Ottoman Empire was a force for good. But that's, Bro, stop wasting my time. How am I wasting your time? I'll just talk about an event I had. But yeah, but honestly, I stopped. That guy was not my friend. It was just a random guy that I had encountered on Ghost Recon Wildlands while doing some co-op. And it was, you know, that guy, I just left afterwards. I couldn't talk to somebody. I couldn't talk to somebody that toxic. I couldn't do it. I tried to explain to him that the Armenian genocide was a real thing, but he was just not having it. He started telling me, he started telling me some, like, weird stuff. He's like, read this Turkish author's books, he tells you the truth. And, like, I'm not gonna read some propaganda book nonsense. You have the entire internet, like, you can just cite some random Turkish nationalist author that's gonna, like, you know, it's just, no, it's just, it's like, you can look up history, you can look up the Ottomans had massacred the Armenians, you know, anybody can do a quick Google search of this. And the fact that somebody would be out there would be just saying that it's that didn't happen, person's an idiot. That's what I'll say about that. They're an idiot. It's the same people. It's like the same people that deny the Holocaust. It's just people are idiots. That's what I say. It's like you could do a simple Google search of this. I don't know how anybody can possibly deny that stuff like this happened. Let's see here. They never admit it's real. Ever heard of Sank? I know who you're talking about, Sank. Sank is the guy from the Young Turks. He's the host on that. For years and years, he would deny that. I'm pretty sure he denied that happened. I think only recently he did admit that it was real. But yeah, he had a massive problem with that. And the thing about that is his co-host was Armenian, and so I don't know how she could possibly, like, you know, sit there and just, like, be perfectly fine with that. You know, stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying that everybody in Turkey, like, denies that happened, but, like, there's a massive problem with in the Turkish education system where they act like that did not happen. No, I don't have anything against Turkish people. I'm a Polish Tatar, so, you know, I'm technically of Turkish ancestry. You know, my grandmother was, you know, an ethnic Polish Tatar. But what I'm not talking about Turkish people specifically. I'm just talking about how in Turkey there is a massive issue with just the education system in Turkey, where they pretend like the Armenian genocide didn't happen. They teach about the good things of the Ottoman Empire. They act like the Ottoman Empire was this force for good and did not do anything bad. Well, that's just not true. So that's just what I say. But I have nothing against Turkish people. So that's my view on it. That's the reason the EU blocks Turkey's application. Really? Is that the reason? Because the Turkish government denies the Armenian genocide? I didn't know about that. Why do schools teach us more about Stalin than Mao? I think it's because of Stalin's role in World War II. I think that's probably the reason, MEK, but Mao is a horrible guy too. But yeah, that's, you got another country, China there. China denies the atrocities that the Chinese government and the Chinese education system denies the atrocities that the Chinese government and Mao had done. Do you know games like Mega Man Legends? I played Mega Man Legends before on the channel. And I love Mega Man Legends. But Barkeen, I hope I answered your question. I have nothing against people from Turkey. I was just talking about how in Turkey the government there denies that the Armenian genocide actually happened. I personally think that that's a problem, and that they need to address that. Let me see here. Oh, I missed your point here, Ayan. I'm sorry. Let me look at it. Let's see. Where's Ayan's comment? Where is it? Here. What do you think about genocide Pakistan did in Bangladesh? Estimates 300,000 to 3 million people were killed by the Pakistani army before India helped them liberate. I don't know much about that war. I know that Pakistan had gained its independence from the conflict, but Pakistan is a pretty authoritarian country. It is. I don't consider Pakistan a democracy when people say Pakistan is a democracy. I don't have anything against people from Pakistan, but I don't consider Pakistan a democracy. So there's no doubt in my mind that the Pakistani government has committed horrible atrocities. Okay. Let me see here. The real CS, make sure you have your heist ready, because right after this, I'm going to help you do your heist, okay? Bro, if you aren't democratic, you automatically commit atrocities. Not necessarily, but an authoritarian government is much more likely to commit atrocities than a democratic government. Democratic government's sure going to commit atrocities. That happens. but authoritarian governments are much more likely to do it. But if you just look at if you look at the government of Pakistan, for example, if you just look at the massive discrimination that religious minorities face in Pakistan, people are persecuted. Women's rights are just, you know, a massive issue in Pakistan. But not only that, I think that Pakistan also has a death penalty for being gay. I think I'm pretty sure, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Pakistan has either the death penalty or it's like a very, very serious punishment. But that's like, that to me, that is a brutal regime. If a country does something like that, that's a brutal regime to me. So that's what I say, what I'll say about that. So I have nothing against people from Pakistan, but I'm just saying about the government. The government, they're just, you know, scumbags. Well, Pakistan is not technically in the Middle East, but it's, but yeah, I understand your point. What do you think of Queen Victoria? The thing about Queen Victoria is I have a pretty negative view of Queen Victoria because there was massive poverty in her own country during the Industrial Revolution. You know, you had kids that were during the Industrial Revolution that would go up chimneys, like up chimneys to clean them, and they would get sick from that and die. You know, kids would be working in factories getting their hands cut off. Did Victoria do anything to fix that? No, she didn't. So that's what I say is, so not only was she also, you know, she was also in charge of the largest portion of the British Empire, but she did not even improve conditions for her own people. Even her own people were suffering, and she did absolutely nothing about that. So, see here. I didn't even bring up religion at all. I didn't even bring up religion one time in this, so I don't know what people are talking about here. And nothing against any religion. I literally just said that Pakistan executes people for being gay. That's, you can Google that. And if they don't execute them, it's a very extreme punishment too. So that's so for me, you know, I have no respect for a government that does something like that. Okay. Over here, I'm gonna help you with your heist now. Okay. Go here. Kids also work in coal mines. They did. You're absolutely right on that. The professional, back in 2019, the latest CPU was 12 Gen. Now the 14th Gen is brand new. If you have an i7 or i9, you must have heard of a 3080 or 3090. If you have i5, you must have the 3050 or the 3060. I will tell you what graphics card. This computer, I don't remember what my graphics card, my computer at home has, like my really powerful desktop. I don't remember what the graphics card is, so I'm sorry I can't answer that question. But I can tell you what this one has. This computer, this laptop, it's on my laptop here. This laptop I know is strong. It's a good one. For my CPU, it says that I have an 11th Gen Intel R Core TM i7 /11370H 3.30 gigahertz. I'm not a computer guy, but I know that that's good. Will I visit North Korea as part of a lore video? No, thank you. Wait, what's going on? Are you inviting me, Real CS? Are we, Okay. Am I using the PS5 Slim right now? No, I'm actually not. I'm using my still standard PS5. Visit Sao Paulo, bro, the city for Max Payne 3. Let me ask you something, Almeida. What do you... I'm assuming you've been in Sao Paulo, you're Brazilian? Is that what that R is? That's Brazilian currency? But, tell me, if you've been in Sao Paulo before, what do you think of Max Payne 3's depiction of it? Do you think that that's what the city looks like? Like, is it accurate? Like, I'm not talking about the violence. I'm just talking about, like, the landscape of it. Like, did you think that was pretty accurate for what it looks like? Hoping another session. Okay. Do I know how to speak Indian? No, no. I think, but I don't think. I think the language is Hindi. Correct me if I'm wrong. So no. Have I had to get physical with somebody? No. But I've been attacked before. So I've been attacked before, but I haven't gotten physically with somebody. Put me in another session. Okay, Real CS. Thank you for the super chat. When I was in middle school, there was a kid who came up behind me and punched me in the back of the head. That happened, knocked me to the ground. It was a complete cheap shot. He couldn't even do it from the front, and so he hits me from the back like that. It's just do you plan on doing a 100% completion on Bully? Yes, I will do that. I'll do that. I'll definitely consider it exquisite. Thank you for the super chat. No, it wasn't Jake. It was another kid. The thing about that is that kid who actually hit me in the back of the head, he actually came to me years later and apologized for it, and I forgave him for it. So he actually contacted me and just reached out to apologize, and I told him it was fine. I just told him that if he wants to apologize to me, don't ever do that to anybody again. And he said, okay. Do I plan on doing a 100% completion of Bully? Yes, I will. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat, too. Okay, I'm ready. No, no, I'll tell you why. The reason he didn't get dared to hit me. The reason that he hit me in the back of the head was because what happened was, this kid was just talking crap to me. So it basically started in the cafeteria. This was in 7th grade. And this started in the cafeteria. And this kid was basically just talking crap to me, just trying to be. He was basically like that kid that would just talk crap to people just to try to seem cool. That's basically who he was, and he wasn't like necessarily like a bully, though he did act like a bully in that regard. He didn't typically pick on kids, but what happened was he came up. He basically started calling me a bunch of racist Polish slurs. So he started calling me, a dumb, the word for Polish people, like a bunch of offensive words for Polish people. And just started insulting me over that. And he was trying to get people to laugh with him, and basically I got pissed. I wasn't having it, and so what I did was I had basically told him, I might be a dumb, blank, but I said you will never be as tall as me. That's what I said, because I was literally almost 2 feet taller than him. Like, he was much shorter than me. So I literally started mocking his height, which I shouldn't have done that. It was kind of, rude of me to do that too. But I was just pissed. I was just not having it because I just wanted to sit down and have lunch. I didn't want to have some dumb kid come and just throw some slurs at me and be racist to me. And so what happened is when he started calling me slurs, nobody was really laughing. But when I called him short and said that he's never going to be as tall as me, he got really pissed at that, and all the kids were laughing in the cafeteria. So he got, he was like so embarrassed by that. And then what ended up happening is when after lunch we went out in recess, I was just minding my own business. He comes up behind me and just hits me in the back of the head, knocks me down. And what ended up happening was the lunch aide actually saw him, so I didn't snitch on him. But the lunch aide actually saw him, so the teacher that was outside during recess actually saw him do that, saw him come up behind me and hit me in the back of the head, and I wouldn't have even known that he did it if a teacher hadn't, called. I guess I probably would have figured out that he did it, but I didn't see him actually come up behind me. So he comes up behind me, knocks me to the ground, and what ends up happening is we get taken to the office, and I was really hoping that the teacher didn't see it, because I didn't want this being taken to, the office. The reason is because while I don't care that he personally got in trouble, I don't care about that. The reason I was really hoping that the teacher didn't see it is because if I get sent to the office and then he gets sent to the office and then he gets in trouble, people are going to think that I'm a snitch. Because in my middle school that I was in the city, if people thought that you were a snitch, you were going to have massive problems. People were going to have you massive problems. They were possibly even going to jump you for that. The only time I ever told on anybody ever in school ever, was there was this one kid who was like an absolute bully, and he would just terrorize people. And that was the only time I ever told on somebody, because this kid was just terrorizing kids, he was robbing kids, he was beating kids up, and that was the only time I ever told on anybody. Nobody found out that I did it, but I was just so sick of that kid. Was like, there was one kid that was like, he was dangerous, and that was the only time I told the teacher that what he was doing, and he got suspended over it. The ironic thing about that is that the same kid that I ended up telling on, that exact same kid that I told on, he actually had actually stolen my Game Boy from me 2 years prior. So, for people saying, oh, why did you tell on this bully and stuff like that, I usually mind my own business for the most part. you know, get involved in other people's affairs. But this kid also stole from me. And so for people that would call me a snitch for, you know, telling on, like, a bully for something, this kid stole from me 2 years prior. And then 2 years later, that exact same kid, and this is what's so crazy about this story, the exact same kid who knocked me to the ground and basically punched me, that exact same kid got knocked to the ground by that bully that I told on. So the kid who actually hit me got jumped by that bully. That's what the really ironic thing about this was. And he did a similar thing where he hit him in the back of the head, but when he hit him in the back of the head, it was much worse than me. Like, he hit him cold. Like, just knocked him to the ground. I never seen somebody fall like that. It's not like in the movies. Like, in the movies, you see when people get knocked down in a fight, it's not like that at all. It was just fall flat down. And so what ended up happening is, nobody saw that kid do it but me. And I got a bit pissed. And at that point, and even though the kid who had jumped me had gotten beat up, the reason that kid got beat up is because he wanted his wallet. That was it. The reason that I ended up telling, ultimately, is because I was just sick of it. Because that kid, I saw him jump so many kids before. I thankfully had not gotten jumped by him before, but I've seen it happen so many times where so many kids have gotten jumped by that kid. That kid was an absolute menace. Like, a menace. He was basically kind of like Gary in Bully, but he was more like a stupid version of Gary. That's what he was. He wasn't as intelligent as Gary, that kid. And so that kid, by me getting him suspended, he wasn't able to hurt anybody else. So, you know, you think about it that way too. So no, look, what I will say about this is that the kid who I told on, it was the only time I've ever told on anybody. I've never told on anybody before. I always kept to myself. I never snitched on anybody. But this kid, like I said, this kid stole my Game Boy Advanced SP. He took that from me. He stole it from me 2 years prior. He took it from me. I never got it back. I lost it. That was a cherished thing that I had gotten on Christmas when I was 10 years old. And so this kid had already stolen from me, and not only that, but he was bullying so many other kids, and he had just beaten up so many kids, and then I saw him, like, beat up one kid. I just saw him do it, and I got so pissed off at that point. I was like, that's it. I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of this scumbag just terrorizing the school. And so I just went to the assistant principal's office, and I told her, listen, I know who jumped that kid. I know who did it. And basically what happened was I told the assistant principal, I'm like, is he gonna find out that I had told you? And the assistant principal was like, no, he won't. You'll just have to sign a written document that you saw him do it. But other than that, he won't find out. And I said, okay. And I signed the document, and that was it. And she, and she took my word for it, because I had never been a troublemaker. I didn't snitch on people, but I never, like, caused problems either. And so that kid got suspended. And so for that time that he had gotten suspended, he got thrown out of school. He was not able to hurt anybody else. So that was ultimately, and in a way, I saved him from beating up other kids, but also it was the fact that it was my revenge on him too. It was my revenge on him for just taking my Game Boy from me too. So that was it. I never forgot that. I always remembered that, and I never forgot it, and it was just my revenge. So for people to say, oh, you snitched on this kid, well, what about when he took my Game Boy from me? He took that from me. You know, I have no chance of beating this kid in a fight. You know, this kid was like 2 times my size. And, you know, this is what I can do, is I can get him suspended. So I have no obligation to him whatsoever. So that was it. So it's let's get out of the vault here. It's one thing, if you like tell on somebody for like something stupid, like chewing gum or something like that, you're an idiot, you're a scumbag. But if you tell a teacher that there's like a kid who's actually bullying and hurting kids, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That was the only time I did it, ever. But it's like I said, what was so ironic about this is the same kid who jumped me was the same kid that had gotten jumped by that kid. He did actually find out that I was the one who got that kid suspended who jumped him, and that's when basically caused him to apologize to me. So when I told you guys he apologized to me, that first kid who jumped me, that was it, and I told him it was fine. And that kid never told anybody that I had snitched on that bully. So that was it. But what I'll tell you guys is one thing that I liked about, if anybody has ever watched that show, The Boondocks, if anybody's ever watched it before, The Boondocks is a great show because not only is it hilarious, but The Boondocks also has some important life lessons to it as well in some of those episodes. And that one episode on the snitching in Bully, every single kid should watch that episode, the snitching episode. Every single kid. Because, oh crap. Oh no, I messed that up. That was my bad there. Okay. Okay, fight our way out. Not a big deal. We got good guns for this. Okay, let's move. Good shot. Okay. But what I was saying about the snitching, the reason everybody should watch the Boondocks episode of Snitching is because during that episode, what happens in the episode is Eddie and Rummy are breaking into a bunch of houses. They're burglarizing houses, and the reason they're primarily doing that is because Eddie's grandfather runs a home alarm company. So they're breaking into houses to advertise his home alarm company. And what ends up happening is they're running away from some neighbors, and they break into, you know, Riley's grandpa's garage. And they basically start trying to hotwire and take his car, his grandpa's car. Now, what ends up happening is Riley sees them doing it. He tries to stop them, but they still take the car. And the grandpa says, you know, tell the police who did it, who the police, and he's like, no, I'm not going to snitch, I'm not going to do that. He's like, the code of the streets is you don't snitch, all this blah, blah, blah. Riley's just trying to act like a tough guy. And he doesn't snitch on Eddie and Rummy. He doesn't snitch on them. And then what ends up happening is, at the very end of the episode, those two same guys he didn't snitch on end up stealing his bike, and then the grandpa starts laughing at him, saying, oh, you're not going to snitch on them now, you know? So now they actually stole from him. So he could have prevented his bike being stolen from him if he had told the police the truth, and they would have gotten arrested at the start, but he didn't. And so that's the moral lesson of it. What I would say about it is there's a difference between, I would say there's a difference between snitching and being honest. Because snitching is more of when you're part of something, like when you're involved in something bad, like you know, when, like, the mafia, for example, if there's, like, you know, somebody goes against the family and, like, tells the cops, you know, what they're doing and stuff like that, that's snitching. And the reason that that's snitching is because they were involved in the same thing. They were involved in the bad thing, and they're not coming to the police out of the goodness of their heart. They're not going to the police and they're, you know, they didn't have, like, a crisis of conscience thinking, like, oh, I'm in the mafia, I'm doing, you know, horrible things. The reason that they're telling the police about the activities in the mafia is because they want a shorter jail sentence. That's ultimately prison sentence. That's ultimately what it's about. But, you know, snitching is like, you know, something like when you're part of something. When you're part of something and you tell on somebody just so you have a lesser punishment, that's what snitching is. But when you know, somebody robs you and you tell the cops who did it, that's not snitching, because that person robbed you. If they didn't want the police to come after you, you know, don't rob the person. It's as simple as that. But that's what I say, is that some people, I will say, have, like, this really terrible mentality where they will not talk to the police whatsoever, and I'll tell you, it is extremely frustrating. It is very frustrating, because when I studied criminal justice, because originally I wanted to be a cop, and I had a bachelor's degree in law enforcement technology. What happened was we learned about, like, police-community relations, and we learned about how, like, some of these communities are, like, they're really close to each other, they know everybody, and some of these communities, they have, like, a very, very small distrust of the police. Sometimes it is legitimate, because the police have been bad to them in the past, but other times there's not really a reason why they shouldn't, you know, work with the police. And so sometimes in some of these neighborhoods, is like, even if the people know who did it, like somebody, you know, got attacked, or somebody got murdered, even if the people know who did it, they won't tell the police. And it's not necessarily out of fear, it's not necessarily out of that, but just more out of just that they don't want to be called a snitch. That's ultimately what it is. And so, for me, that just puzzles me so much. I don't understand that. Because if your community is so tight, and you're such a tight community, you're so close to each other, and somebody murdered somebody from your community, isn't that kind of betraying your community by not telling the police who did that? So, like, they think that they're all tight in their communities because they don't tell the police who, like, you know, who murdered somebody, but you're actually, like, you know, betraying the person who got murdered by not being honest with the police and telling the police who did it. So that's what I say. Somebody got killed in your neighborhood, in your community that was close to you. You know, maybe you should tell the police about that. But it's just like some of these communities, they're just so, they will not work with the police, and they think the police are the devil. Like, if the police try to talk to them, they think the police are literally the devil. Oh, I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry, everyone here. Best AFK money guide. I have all the businesses. The best AFK money guide would be buy supplies for your MC businesses. Buy supplies for your MC businesses. Have your nightclub producing counterfeit goods, pharmaceutical research, South American imports, cash creation, and cargo and shipments. Those are the 5 best ones. Buy supplies for the bunker, buy supplies for the acid lab, then just sit on the security cameras in your business, Kevin. And when you do that, you will, you know, hours later, just buy some more supplies. You'll be able to eventually sell that for millions of dollars. You will need a few friends to help you out, but you eventually can, make a decent amount of money. Thank you, Kevin Joare. And thank you, EDR. High Professional. I just wanted, what's your favorite GTA protagonist? My favorite GTA protagonist is probably Nico. My second favorite protagonist, I would say, would probably have to be CJ. Third favorite protagonist, probably Tommy. Fourth one would probably have to be, Vic. Or actually, no, I'll replace Tommy with Vic. So third favorite will be Vic, and then fourth will be Tommy. And then it will be, after that, I have to think about the other people there. I would say fifth, probably Franklin. Oh, and I'm missing all the HD characters, too. I don't know, it would just be a little bit more complex to think about it, but Nico is my favorite one, though. Thank you, EDR. Crime in-game is similar to the crime in Rio. Oh, it is, Almeida. Oh, okay. Congrats on the interview, Pro. Also, I'm almost done with ranking the game script, so I'll tell you when we can cook up some heat. Oh, okay. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. Thank you. And if you want to do that video, you know, ranking the games, I could possibly help you with that. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, damn. That was fail. Hey, Pro, can you wish Happy Solid Snake some luck? Well, hope you have some good luck, Solid Snake. Thank you, Select Devotee. Thanks, man. Hi, Pro. Do you think that Tommy will be in GTA 6? No, he won't be. And it's because Tommy's in a 3D universe. GTA 6 is in the HD universe. But I'll have a video probably on that, or if it in. Thank you for the super chat. We need GTA 7 to be in Chicago. That wouldn't be a bad location. Yeah, I would be fine with that, Red Dead Lumbago. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Rockstar's gonna give us all the information on Tuesday about the DLC. That's when it drops the same day, too. Am I gonna do a $10 million taxi fare live stream? No. No, that would be, if I did something like that, I think that I would have to be put in insane asylum after I finish that. I think I'll be too unstable afterwards. Who is the goofiest GTA character, Pro? Trevor, probably. Yeah, Trevor, I would say. Thank you, Arividend. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, man. Top 5 dumbest GTA characters. The stupidest GTA character in the entire series, I would have to think about that one. That would be a really hard one. Who do you guys think is the stupidest GTA character of all time? We're not talking just protagonists, we're just talking in general. The stupidest NPC, stupidest named character. Who is the stupidest character? Maybe Maria? Maria would probably be a good one. Lance Vance is pretty stupid too, yeah. Ashley is pretty stupid too. Claude isn't stupid. Lamar is pretty dumb too, yeah. I want to see GTA 6 Shark Card Edition. Don't give them ideas, Select Devotee. Manny, yeah, Manny's pretty stupid. Manny's dumb. Manny, yeah, thank you, Evident. You're right, Manny. Manny, okay, for GTA 4, dumbest characters in GTA 4, Manny, Pegorino, um, Manny Pegorino, who else would we put on there? Vlad, um, Manny Pegorino, Vlad, I'm missing somebody else. Brucey, I mean, Brucey is not an idiot, because Brucey knows how to fix up cars. He's really smart with cars. He knows how to handle them. So I wouldn't call Brucey an idiot. I would just say that the steroids are just giving him roid rage. That's what it's all to me. Brucey's not an idiot. Oh, how could we forget? The dumbest character probably would have to be Evan. Evan in the Ballad of Gay Tony. Evan, Tony's boyfriend. He is probably the dumbest character. How could I forget about him? He's such an idiot. Oh yeah, that's... Evan is an idiot. Yeah, I completely forgot about Evan.
Oh, hey.
By the way, guys, I'm telling you something. I'm gonna be calling up another scammer again. I'm already texting another scammer, just letting everybody know. And I might have another video this month of just me pissing off another scammer. So if you like those videos, it's me calling the scammers and pissing them off. I might have another video of that, but it's if this scammer picks up, because I don't know if they're gonna pick up, because I'm just texting them right now. So I don't know if they're going to answer. This is not another investment scam. What this scam is it's a scam impersonating me. So it's a scam pretending to be me. It was a scammer pretending to be me again, and I blocked all the comments, and he's like, message me on Telegram, and I started messaging him on Telegram, and he started telling me, you've won the professionals giveaway. Again, the same exact type of scam. But this time, guys, I'm gonna pretend to be a GTA character, and I'm gonna do the accent. But do you know what GTA character I'm gonna pretend to be? I'm gonna pretend to be Tony Cipriani. That's who I'm gonna do, this time. So I was pretending doing Dimitri last time. Now we're gonna do Tony Cipriani. This is who we're gonna do this time. I'm gonna try to do an accent. Hey, how you doing? That's what I'm gonna try to do. I know it's not like Tony's accent, but I'm gonna try to do like kind of that more New Yorker accent. Hey, how you doing, kid? Like doing that. I work in waste management. Like, you know, that. Just doing that. My name's Tony Cipriani. So just doing that accent and just talking to the scammer on that. That's gonna be good. Tony Cipriani, remember the name. What U.S. cities are the most dangerous in your opinion? All the big West Coast cities plus New York cities seem to have massive problems. Honestly, I would tell you is... It's not the most violent city in America, but if I had to name the city that I would be the most scared to go through, the most scared to walk through, and I'm not trying to insult anybody from that city. I've never been to the city, but it's only what I've seen on the news and what I've seen on videos. The one city that I would be absolutely terrified of walking through would be Portland. Portland, that city. The reason that I'm terrified of Portland is because I've seen so many videos on YouTube of just people just smoking, you know, crack and heroin and just all this stuff on the streets of Portland. And they're literally in broad daylight, in the middle of the open, like just in the public streets. And that's honestly, I just see so many drug addicts whenever I watch videos of Portland. That's probably the city that I'd be the most scared of. I could walk through Los Angeles, no problem. Los Angeles, Chicago. I'm even from New York, but I would probably be too scared to walk through Portland, personally. So I'm not trying to insult anybody from Portland. I'm sure there's nice parts of Portland, but that's from what I just seen. That was just my view of it. That's the city I'd be probably scared of the most. It has to be OG Loke. What, you want me to pretend to be OG Loke on a video, Matthew? Thank you. Hey, man, it's OG Loke! OG Loke! That's what I could probably try to do that. When I talk to a scammer, I could do that. But if I do OG Loke, scammer might hang up on me, because he might get really irritated really quickly. But, I think I could probably do a good Tony Cipriani impression. Thanks, Pro. Do you have any heist you need help with? No, I don't. I just wanted to help you, real CS. Thank you, Mario. Do I think the cops in GTA Vice City are the dumbest cops in GTA history? I would have to think about that. What city has the dumbest police department in the GTA world? I would have to think about that. Which one it is. I wouldn't say the cops in Vice City are dumb, because they almost busted Vic and Lance. Remember that? When they literally put the transmitters on their businesses? Thank you, DHC. Also, in Criminal Justice, I do have a slideshow project where I have to perfectly murder a fictional character. Should I pick Trevor Phillips? That's a weird assignment. But yeah, you could choose him and say he's from GTA. My favorite GTA antagonist, easy, Dimitri in GTA 4. Because Dimitri is such a interesting villain. Because Dimitri is, it just came out of nowhere. You didn't expect something like that to happen. He was just such a 180 on his personality. Evan had one job, keep the diamonds safe. He died texting. Yep, died putting it on social media. So for people that don't know why Evan is the stupidest character in GTA 4, the reason Evan is the stupidest character in GTA 4 is because he got ambushed by a bunch of bikers when he had $2 million worth of diamonds, and instead of trying to run away from the bikers, he took out his smartphone and he started posting on social media how he's getting attacked by bikers. I'm not joking, that actually happened in the game. So that's why he didn't get away, because he spent time posting it on social media how he was getting attacked by bikers trying to steal the diamonds from him, and he got killed. That was the dumbest character in GTA 4. Portland also has a massive problem with Antifa. Why the city has allowed this group to run amok for the past several years beyond me. Well, I just seen a lot of stuff in Portland where just the police are just not enforcing the law. I don't know why, but maybe legalizing drugs is not necessarily a good idea. Maybe they should criminalize that again. What is your all-time earning in GTA Online? Let's take a look right now. Thank you, Carter. I gotta move my camera. Hold on. My overall income is minus $1,607 million. The reason it's like that is because there's a glitch on GTA Online, and it happens to everyone. If you get to $2,100 million in earnings, what happens is it turns negative. I don't know why. It's like it's $2,100 million something. It just turns negative. People told me it's something to do with the digits, the integers, something with that. Somebody in the comments might know why that happens. But that's basically it. There's a glitch where if you get to $2,100 million, that it turns to that. So in total, how much money have I made? When I make more money, this number goes down. The negative $1,607 million. So technically, how much money have I made? I have made $2,100 million plus this, which is about $500 million. So about $2,600 million technically is how much I have made. If you want, how much time have I spent in GTA Online? I have spent 480 days. Oh, so I thought it was 470 days. So I've spent 480 days of my life on this game. So yeah, so in the future, I can tell people when I'm much older, I can tell people, oh, did you know I spent a year and a half of my life on GTA Online? So yeah, when I'm telling people stories when I'm old, I can tell people that. I spent a year and a half of my life on GTA Online. Hang on a second here. See, the cringe saints will post about stolen diamonds. Yep, they would. That's probably something I'd keep to myself, yeah. Well, people ask me that all the time. They ask, like, how long do you have on GTA Online play? And do you guys want to know something so stupid? Like, you know, I had this guy. I'm not joking, guys. I had this guy once tell me, he's like, you hate GTA Online. Stop hating on GTA Online. And I was like, why do you think I hate GTA Online? And he's like, oh, you just talk crap about Rockstar and you're insulting Rockstar. It's like, well, I'm criticizing dumb things that Rockstar is doing because I want GTA Online to be better. That's why it's like, I wouldn't have over 400 something days played on GTA Online if I hated GTA Online. It's like, my god, it's just... Once you earn 2,147,483,648,000, it'll show as minus. Why? Why does that happen, though? Do you know why that's the reason? Why does that happen? I know it's like a specific amount. It's like 2,100,000,000, but why? Why does it do that? What feature in GTA 6 story would you like to see that wasn't in 5? I would like to see more friend activities, more things to do with the friends, because the friend activities in GTA 5 sucked. I would also like to see more illegal businesses, more, crime-themed stuff that you can do. Thank you, Wyatt, for the super chat. And thank you, Own Titan. It's the integer system that they use? Okay. integer limit? Oh. 2 billion is the 16-bit integer limit. Ah, so that's it. I guess I'm gonna be going here, guys. I'm gonna head out here. I am hungry though. I want to get something to eat, so I'm gonna have some food to eat before. So I'm right after I go here. So tomorrow I'll have another part of Bully up for you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. I'll also have another part of Medal of Honor soon. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.